Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jom, aka the head coach of this season of the TCL for the Los Angeles Frosmoths. Welcome to season 7, everybody. It has been a wild ride. We've been through 2 seasons already, and honestly, the last 2 didn't go very well for me, if we're being honest. So, I'm excited to announce that I'm back in the TCL. I'm excited for the team that I've drafted this season. I'm excited for its potential. I'm excited for the future matches that I might have going for me. And honestly, I think this might be a good season for me, all things considered. So before I do anything, let me go ahead and elaborate. I did say head coach because this year I have an assistant coach. My man, Mr. Blazing Torchic, has agreed to be my assistant coach, and I have agreed to be his assistant coach. The reason being is that we are in 2 separate divisions, which means that we will never actually play each other unless we both make it to the finals. And if we both make it to the finals, then we just won't help each other. It's as simple as that. So, my man is going to be helping me out, and I'm going to be helping him out as well. Not like he needs it. He's actually really good. But nonetheless. So, I am in the TCL document. I am right here, the Los Angeles Frosmoths. This is my team. I'll go over it a little more in detail, give a little analysis. And the other people in my division consist of Hazard, Altered, Pokepans, Tsunami, Luke, Meech, and Omake, which is an extremely stacked division. I mean, this second division is pretty stacked too. But, like, I mean, come on. If you've been to the channel before, if you know the TCL, you know big names like Pokepans and Meech and Omake. These guys are fucking ridiculous. But I think we have a shot here. I think we have a shot. And the reason I think we have a shot here is because of this beautiful team that I've drafted. So, round 1, pick 1. Well, no, not pick 1. It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th pick in round 1. I took Galar Moltres. The reason I took Galar Moltres was because I honestly thought that it would get picked too quickly. I wanted to pick it a little bit later in the rounds, but I was honestly getting a little bit anxiety riddled with the fact that it might be taken a little sooner than I expected. I mean, if we go ahead and we look at Zapdos Galar, that got picked really late actually, which I think Zapdos Galar is probably the best. But, I mean, Galar Moltres is extremely underrated. So that's kind of why I took it. But, I mean, Galar Articuno, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes in the 6th round. And that's stupid because I think Galar Articuno is still baller. But, whatever. I took Galar Moltres specifically because, honestly, it counters both the other birds. It takes out Galar Articuno. I think I might be weak to Galar Zapdos, but the flying type still hits it, I think, neutrally. Or maybe super effectively. I don't know. So that's why I picked this. I honestly think it's the most underrated bird, and I think it's the bird that it's going to come in the most clutch for me. I really like the dart flying type. It's basically just a heavy-hitting Mandibuzz. I had Mandibuzz last season. That thing was crazy. It doesn't learn Defog, though, I don't think, which is whatever. Well, actually, let's check. Can it learn Defog? No, it cannot. But the good thing is that you can get stuff like Air Slash. You can get stuff like Fiery Wrath. Fiery Wrath is the signature move. It's absolutely insane. 20% chance to flinch, 90 power, 100% accuracy. It's just a better Dark Pulse, in my opinion. A little bit more. Actually, no, it's just a little bit better than Dark Pulse. But still, that's a really good move. The flinch is fantastic. You know, I could run stuff like Agility. I could run stuff like Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot might be a little bit difficult. This thing is extremely defensive, though. Like, I mean, especially defensive if I do full bulk. I mean, and a plus nature. Let's check that out. I mean, we're sitting at a solid 349 just for special defense. It's got a pretty good HP stat. If I wanted to run it super bulky, it's still got enough to be really good offensively. This thing is fantastic. Berserk is insane. I could maybe try to pull off some leftover strats, like, you know, go down below half and then heal myself up. Does this thing learn Protect? It does. So I can just kind of build myself back up with Protects and then, you know, possibly get a second Berserk. That would be really nice. Do I get Rest? I do get Rest, so I can heal myself back up. Do I get Roost? That would be broken. Okay, no Roost, which honestly, I would agree that that's probably really broken. I do get Shadow Ball for coverage. Sucker Punch could be useful. U-Turn could be useful. Taunt is always good. Oh, it does get Sub. I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm drinking some tea. But so I apologize for the slurping noises you might hear. But yeah, we got ourselves Galar Moltres first pick. I'm happy with it, and I think it can put in some really good work. And second pick, I took Metagross. I was surprised to see Metagross still here. It's new from the DLC. It's new from the DLC, and I honestly thought that it would have gotten taken a lot quicker than I expected. Steel Psychic's a really good typing, defensively and offensively. Metagross is just a great mon. I mean, you can really build it however you want. You can build it super tanky like this if you wanted to. Obviously, you can maybe try to put some in defense here. You can leave it at its natural bulk and make it a heavy hitter and try to go for a faster build. You honestly can do literally anything with it. I mean, look at that attack stat and that defense stat. I mean, this thing's actually just a monster. You could run stuff like Choice Band. You could maybe even do like Life Orb. Leftovers probably, I think, could work. You know, you got the most beautiful shiny I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely beautiful. Galar Moltres' shiny actually is not bad. I actually really like it. I like how they tried to go for regular Moltres' design. But anyway, Metagross I was actually extremely happy with. I mean, considering, so it was a snake draft, so it went down and then back up. So, I mean, no offense to Meech, but Meech drafted Porygon 2, and then I got Metagross. So there's a big difference there. I mean, let's look at some mons in this tier. Zeraora, Toxapex, Melmetal, Venusaur, Clefable, Tapu Lele, Galar Slowbro, Urshifu, Ferrothorn, Porygon, Metagross, Tangrowth, Feeny, Altaria, Noivern, and Koko. So I honestly think that Metagross was a pretty good pick. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to last much longer, so I went for it. Obviously, we could run something like, I mean, with such a good defense stat, we could run Body Press. We can definitely run Bullet Punch for priority, Earthquake for good coverage, Ice Punch for good coverage, Iron Head is just good stab. It's better than Meteor Mash because of accuracy reasons, and I think the flinch is better than the defense drop, in my opinion, because Metagross is pretty fast. Psycho Cut if you don't want to run Zen Headbutt, because I know that Zen Headbutt, the accuracy is kind of iffy, but you do get the high crit with Psycho Cut, which is really nice. Steel Roller is extremely useful because of the next mon that I drafted, which is Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu was a fantastic pickup for me, in my opinion, considering at this point, all of the Tapus had been taken. I mean, if we go all the way down like this, did anybody... No, I think all the Tapus were taken in this round. So you go up, right? Tapu Lele gets taken. Okay, that started to scare me because I was like, okay, whatever. Then you have Feeny. Feeny gets taken. I'm like, oh, shit. Then Koko. Well, okay. Koko, and I don't know how we let this happen, the Koko and Aleki, but we don't talk about that. This is going to be a rough week. Right, and so then it goes up and then it comes down, right? So I have to wait for Hazard, Altered, Pans, Tsunami. I didn't think Tsunami would take another Tapu, but thankfully Bulu dropped down to me, and it's perfect for me because it gives me a Grass type. It gives me a Fairy type. I already have a Steel and Fairy, part of a core going on. I have Grass as part of a core starting to form. And honestly, this was just really good. I mean, Grassy Surge is a great ability. You get the heal. You get the reduced ground type damage, which is extremely good for Metagross because one of my weaknesses is ground. So having Bulu is actually extremely useful because it reduces the amount of damage I'll take from Earthquake and such like high horsepower and all that. And it's really good because Steamroller does hella damage, or Steel Roller, I'm sorry. Steel Roller does hella damage if I can activate Terrain. So these two mons actually could go hand in hand. It's a 100% accuracy move with 130 in Terrain. All I need is to put this thing out and there's Terrain. Grass Fairy type is extremely good. I think I'm hella weak to Poison. but that's fine. Great stats all the way around. I can build it bulky if I want. I can build it a heavy hitter if I want. It's got a good HP stat. It's great. I could probably put band on it. I could probably put life orb on it. I could put a bunch of shit on it. You know, you got a bunch of grass type moves. Where's Horn Leech? Horn Leech is gonna be extremely great. Mega Horn, I could even see that being nice. I don't think anybody really does Seed. Woodhammer is probably going to be a really good one if I can land that. Stone Edge for coverage is always nice. Does it get Play Rough? It doesn't. So what are all of its fairy moves? Dazzling Gleam? Is that it? Does it only get Dazzling Gleam? That's horrible. I didn't know that, but that's fine. That does suck though. That's the only one it gets. I'm sure it gets some other shit. Let me check. Nature's Madness. I've never even heard of that move. Wow, this thing actually doesn't get any good. Okay, that's an interesting thing. I haven't really looked into Bulu that much, but honestly, this is a really good mon for me. I'm really happy that I picked this because honestly, it's gonna be a nice like control type thing that I'll have because I can set out grassy terrain. I can kind of cripple any ground types that might come in. There's not a lot of ground types though that got drafted, but like whenever there is, plus I already resist ground as it is, so that's just really good. I really like Bulu Shiny. I think it's really nice, the black and yellow. I think there's some blue in there too, but you can't really see it. But this was a really good pick for me. Kind of surprised it got down to me. Cause like, I mean, look where I picked it, you know, but then a bunch of good mons got picked after, but a mon that somehow found its way to me is Komodo, the one and only defensive master. I mean, look at that defense stat. I mean, you're talking, sorry about that. You're talking stab body press from a hella defensive mon. Like, stab body press from a hella defensive mon. You're getting obliterated. It learns iron defense, so you can fucking boost your shit up. You get Aura Sphere if you want to run special attack, because you can run special attack if you really want to. You can run physical. You can run defensive. You can run whatever the hell you want with Komodo, and that's why I love this thing. Like, body press. You get clangorous scales and clanging scales and clangorous soul. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Draco Meteor, obviously. Dragon Claw, fantastic. Dragon Dance could be useful. Earthquake for coverage. Drain Punch for freaking a bunch of damage and heal back. You get Poison Jab. You get Protect. You get freaking Rocks. You get Substitute, Superpower, Toxic, Taunt, Swords Dance. This thing is actually fucking busted, and this ability, Bulletproof, immune to Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and Focus Blast. That's incredibly useful, especially considering this fucking thing right here, the Spectrier. Spectrier is known for just clicking Shadow Ball and literally obliterating teams. This counters that. This gives me a counter to that, thank God, because it literally just makes me immune. I mean, I'm already resistant because of the fighting type, but like, I mean, look at that thing. You can run, I could probably run Leftovers, Life Orb, maybe even, I might even be able to go Band. This thing is just absurd. I love Komodo. I love its design. I've loved the concept of a dragon fighting type, and when it came out, I was extremely happy. The one thing I hate about this thing is it's shiny. I think that it's shiny is disgusting. I mean, who thought that was a smart idea? I mean, just look at it normal for a minute. Like, look at that. That's so clean. And then you decide to go yellow and pink? Nah, horrible idea. That's probably the only one that I'll never run shiny, because, like, I like all these shinies. But anyway, then we got Mr. Toad. We got the Toad in this building, boys. I'm actually extremely happy that I got this. I needed a ground-type Pokemon. Seismitoad is probably the best water ground type in contention right now. I mean, there is Swampert up here that went before Seismitoad. You got Gastrodon somewhere down here. Quagsire's down here. I personally think that this was a steal. I think that Seismitoad is a really good mon. I think that it's super, you can run it hella defensively. Like, I mean, look at that. You could run it hella offensively with speed. Swift Swim, that'll be important later. Swift Swim And I mean, obviously Water Absorb is just fantastic. You know, I like this shiny too, which is nice. You could probably run Assault Vest on this thing if I'm thinking about it. Choice Band, Leftovers Life Orb. You can run it super defensively. I know it gets Protect and Toxic. You know, you have Grass Knot for water coverage. You could run it specially or physically, really, which is really nice because you can do Earthquake or Earth Power. Focus Blast is really good. Ice Punch is great coverage. Liquidation is good for physical. Scald is good for special. You got Poison Jab for fairy types. Protect Rest. Sleep Talk Toxic. Surf Substitute. It can do rocks. This thing is absurd. I love Seismitoad. I've always loved Seismitoad. I think that it's a great mon. I mean, fantastic HP. I mean, look at that. And that's not even up all the way. Like, imagine if I boosted that all the way. Like, look. That's great. I love this. I love this mon. It was a great pick for me. I think it works well with all these other mons because now I'm starting to form a... So now I have a Dragon, Fairy, Steel core, which is a main core. And then I have Grass and Water core. And the finisher for that is Chandelure, Ghost Fire. So now I have a Fire, Grass, Water core and a Steel, Fairy, Dragon core. And all in my first 6 picks. I could run this team and have 2 cores. I probably will never run this exact set of mons because not all of them work together. Bulu does work well with Metagross and Chandelure because they are both heavily weak to ground. And if I can get a Grassy Surge up, I feel safe switching into these 2, depending on if there's a ground type still on the floor. This thing is great. Obviously, you're probably going to go with Flamethrower, you know, Shadow Ball, wherever Shadow Ball is. You could probably run Poltergeist. Its attack's kind of bad. You know, Shadow Ball, obviously. If you want to go full out, you know, you could run Psychic. You know, you could even probably run, like... You could probably run Trick or Trick Room. Toxic's always good. Taunt's amazing. Will-O-Wisp is great. Depending on what your item is, if you're going to go ahead and do a choice of any kind, Specs or Scarf, you're probably going to run you're probably going to run oh my god, you're probably going to want to run, that's a weird sentence, 4 attacks. If you do heavy duty boots, you could probably do and get away with. Leftovers Life Orb, probably Life Orb. You can get away with that for sure. This thing is definitely going to be special attack heavy and speed more likely than not. You could probably get away with maybe some HP, but I doubt it. Defense could be useful if you want. I don't know how much more bulky you can make this thing, but this thing is actually really good. I don't really like this shiny too much either, but it does the job nonetheless. But yeah, this thing was a great pick. I'm honestly surprised it went this far. I mean, like, look at all the mons that had to go before. Like, that's just so incredibly interesting that's how that ended up going. Because look at all these mons. So many good fire types went, like Moltres, Arcanine, Rotom Heat, but really not that many. Like Incineroar got picked before. I just found it interesting. But let's go ahead and move on to the next batch of individuals. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Where is it? There we go. All right. So next we took Galvantula. This was actually really good for me because I realized that I can use this to set up sticky webs and therefore make a bunch of my team faster than most things. There's some interesting things on the opposition. We got a Regieleki. If I can somehow manage to set up sticky webs, that's, well, not by much, but that significantly reduces the damage that Aleki's gonna do. Because, I mean, it does more damage based on what it's faster than you, or based on how much faster it is than you. So if I can slow it down, I'm going to significantly reduce its damage output. And Compound Eyes is just fantastic for fucking Thunder, because Thunder, 70% accuracy. Compound Eyes makes it about 91, I believe. 91% accuracy for a 110 power move. It can't miss in rain, and it has a 30% chance to paralyze. That's insane. Bug Buzz is fantastic. You could run Poison Jab if you need to. Rest, Sleep, Talk. Sticky Web obviously is a must. You know, Sucker Punch is really good if you want priority. Thunder Wave could be good to cripple. Toxic could be good. Volt Switch, obviously. I mean, I would probably not run this. If I'm going to run Thunder, I probably wouldn't run Volt Switch and vice versa. You know, probably Focus Sash, Life Orb, Leftovers maybe, depending on what you want to do with it, because you can make it pretty HP intensive if you wanted. I don't know if anybody really runs it like that, but you're probably most likely going to go special attack speed to try to outspeed, because honestly the whole point is you want to be fast so you can set up the sticky web, and then if this thing dies, then this thing dies. Really, this is kind of a bait mon, in my opinion. You could use it to attack, because I mean a Thunder is going to do a shit ton of damage with a plus attack or a plus special attack nature. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my throat you know, from drying out, because I do have a little bit of a sore throat going on. So speaking was not a smart idea, but you get the point. Then we got Nihiligo. This was one of my best picks in my opinion, because this thing is freaking incredible. I mean, Beast Boost in and of itself is one of the most amazing abilities in the game. The highest stat raised by 1 if I KO, which allows me to start sweeping, because if I put special attack all the way up, look at that special attack, look at that special defense, look at all that. That special attack's just going to stockpile if I keep hitting. This thing is frail as all fucking get up, but I mean, you could run Scarf and probably do a shit ton of damage. You might even be able to run Spec. Focus Sash if you're that scared of getting absolutely botted with your shitty defense. Because I mean, 47, that's horrible. You know, Life Orb, Leftovers even. I can use this thing to set up rocks. I can use this thing to set up spikes. I can use this thing to get rid of spikes. You know, this could be a setup mon. This could be a sweeper mon. This thing is incredible. Oh, I didn't actually go over Galvantula Shiny. I'm sorry. I like this one too. I like the black. I'll probably run that one because I really like it. But yeah, Nihiligo's is okay. It's like a yellow. But yeah, this thing is just insane. I mean, you get Dazzling Gleam coverage. You get Grass Knot coverage. You get Hex, you know, if you can get a Toxic off. Protect, obviously. Psychic is fantastic. I think it gets Reflect and Light Screen, which is great. Thunder Wave, Toxic, Thunder, Substitute. This thing is great. You know, so much potential for this mon. I could build it extremely specially defensively bulky if I wanted to, or I could just build it like this. I mean, special attack and speed, both over 300. You're asking for a sweep, in my opinion. And then this is kind of where I just kind of lost track of where I wanted to go. I kind of got all the mons that I really, really, really wanted. And so now I just kind of needed to fill in some of those spots. Oop, I didn't mean to hit the mic. I kind of just wanted to fill in some of those spots. So I needed someone to get rid of hazards. So I went ahead and drafted Starmie. I don't believe it gets Defog, but it does get Rapid Spin, which is very useful for getting rid of hazards. Illuminate is not useful, but Analytic could be really good. This thing is super fast, but if something manages to outspeed me, I am going to get the boost. Probably run it special attack and speed. You could probably run it no speed to be slower and do special attack HP. Nah. Probably special attack or special defense. Something like that. You could probably run Life Orb. You could probably run heavy duty boots so that you don't take damage from hazards, so you can just get in safely and rapid spin. A Rocky Helmet possibly, depending on how much damage. I'm thinking probably Life Orb, maybe even one of the choices. Not quite sure. I don't like this shiny at all. But, you know, this thing's really good. Rapid Spin, you get a bunch of water coverage. You get Flip Turn, which I know it's physical, but you can, you know, form like a switch out core if you need to. Light Screen as well. I'm sure you get Reflect. Psychic for stab. Psy Shock. Power Gem, Thunder. This thing's great. I love how I'm just talking really. This is probably like one of my least favorite members on the team right now. It's good, but I don't know. For those of you who don't know, you do get free agent drafts. So basically, if I decide I want another mon, I can swap Starmie for a different mon, and I get 3 of those. So I might swap somebody out for Starmie, depending on, you know, how the season goes and such and such. But the reason I say that is because this next mon, Cryogonal, which I like this shiny actually. Cryogonal is basically Starmie but better. It gets Defog and Rapid Spin. which is fantastic. It does get Rain Dance, which is incredible. It gets Aurora Veil. It gets Ancient Power. It's got Freeze Dry, which is really good because I could run that and also hit water types, which is fantastic. You got Protect. You got Poison Jab. You got, Toxic. You got Sub. You got Recover. Like, this is basically like Milotic from last season. For those of you who saw anything from my last season. Milotic, I usually ran Ice Beam, Scald, Toxic, Recover. I can run Freeze Dry, Toxic, Recover, and Spikes. I think I get Spikes. Do I get Spikes? Oh no, Rapid Spin. I would run Rapid Skin. Rapid Skin? God, I'm just making up new moves. But yeah, this thing's crazy. Pretty good HP stat. Very good special defense. I can take a fucking hit, which is nice. I can be really fast. That way I can set up, a Toxic or, get the Rapid Spin off fast. I'm actually really happy with this Mon. This is a Mon that I take it back. Remember when I said that I kind of lost my way after Nihiligo? I always wanted to grab Cryogonal, but I kind of wanted to grab Cryogonal early, but some people advised me that I could wait because it would go till the last round, and they were right. I believed them. I mean, Cryogonal's not great by any means, but a solid ice type for a league of many dragons. I mean, take a look at my week 1, Altered. Altered is my week 1. Noivern, Moltres, Articuno, Butterfree. All weak to ice. So, whether or not I bring that is up for debate. I don't know, because I actually have way more coverage. Starmie gets ice stuff. So we'll see. And then last but certainly not least, I took a page out of my friend Blazing Torchic's book, and I drafted the one and only Mimikyu that he drafted, I believe, as the first pick last time. Mimikyu's great. I got it. Starmie was interesting because it was just duplicate typings of what I already have. Cryogonal was a new ice type, and Mimikyu is another duplicate of types that I already have, a ghost type and a fairy type, but this fairy type can actually hit pretty hard. You get Play Rough, which is the only physical fairy type move in the game right now, which sucks. But that's fine. You get Hone Claws, you get Shadow Ball, you get Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak. Swords Dance is super good. Thunderbolt if I'm gonna run special, which probably not optimal, but whatever. Yeah, I could probably run this thing pretty defensively if I really wanted to. I don't believe I like this shiny. Oh no, it's okay. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Disguise is a great ability. It allows you to take a hit, which is fantastic because I can go ahead and set up. I can hit Swords Dance and feel safe of not dying. I'll already be fast enough, and I can Shadow Sneak my way into the W. Probably Life Orb, I would say. You could probably get away with Leftovers, but yeah, this thing is insane, and honestly, the whole team's insane. I really like my team. I don't really think that I made any mistakes. I would say maybe I could have played it a little bit better. Galar Moltres was probably not the greatest first pick, but honestly, I think overall the team works really well together. I have... Oops. Oh, I am fucking up left and right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. Everything works well together. Tapu Bulu's ability to make ground types less effective is super good for Metagross. It's super good for Chandelure. It's super good for Galvantula. It's super good for Nihiligo. Cryogonal is immune to it. But, that's super, super, super good. And I think that this team honestly has a lot of synergy. And I think that this is going to make for a really interesting team and a really interesting season. So, I'm really excited for what's to come. I hope you guys are as well. Let me go ahead and get a Frosmoth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of just a little analytic video talking about, how I drafted and the Mons and what they can learn. And honestly, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can be successful this season and get more than one W. I think it's possible. But week 1 of the TCL Season 7 will be against Altered, the Noivern. That will be, I believe... Today is Saturday when I'm recording this, so that would probably be Sunday. So that should be up on Monday. This video should be up on Sunday, presumably. And hopefully that week 1 battle will be up on Monday, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.